Iron Mike Tyson always seemed to get into a little bit of trouble. So in this episode of the Montel Williams Show, from July 8, 1993, Mike, who was in jail on the whole Desiree Washington thing, was asking for a new trial on that case. And that's what this interview centers upon. But with Iron Mike, there's always more to the story. Shh.
We're on location in Danville, Indiana today. Courthouse just like this one, Mike Tyson was convicted of raping Desiree Washington a little over a year and a half ago. Now, the courts have already decided that Mike Tyson is guilty. As a matter of fact, he was convicted of rape. And that's not what we're here to talk about today. What we're here to talk about is the fact that right now, Mike Tyson wants something very, very badly. And what he wants is a new trial. And recently I had an opportunity to talk to Mike Tyson in prison.
I just want the truth to be heard, and I just want to have this new trial, you know what I mean? I just want this to be heard. I just want to be vindicated. I'm not looking for no money. I'm not looking for anything crazy. I just want to be vindicated.
Now, later in the show, we're going to talk to some experts on both sides of the issue, and you'll hear some astonishing comments from some of the jurors who sat on the first trial. And you'll also hear, for the first time, some information from a former boyfriend of Desiree Washington who claims that she accused him of raping her years ago. But first, let's listen to part of my conversation with Mike Tyson. I got off a plane, and somebody said, why the hell are you talking to him now? Why? Isn't it over? He's there. What good is it going to do to talk to him and rehash this now? People need to hear from you why you think or know you need to have an appeal.
I definitely, to my dying word, I haven't did anything to violate this woman, but the evidence coming up after the appeal, after my sentencing process here, shows that this lady had reneged on things that she said, lied to the jury, and various other things as far as accusing someone else for the same crime. And I feel that it should be heard.
You are the brute. You are the animal. You abuse women every opportunity you get. I mean, this is what the public says. You abuse women every opportunity you get. And there's no such thing as date rape in the sense that if a woman says no, I don't care if it's a date or an acquaintance, and you do continue on the act, then it's rape.
I agree.
You do?
Yeah. If you're with a woman and it's no, it's no, it's no.
Did you ever get a no?
Huh? If I got a no, then I'm gone. You know, I mean, it's never the situation. Well, I always hate to put myself in this situation because sometimes it doesn't make me modest, and I try my best now to be modest because I know sometime in the past I was never modest, and I never had to be put in that situation. You know what I mean? And thanks to God, I was in a situation where women are plentiful. I have them, and I mean, it's like buying new cars. You know what I mean? And nothing to be derogatory. And it's just the position I was in. I don't know why they want to. Maybe I have an idea, but come on, I know. Why do I? Please.
The only authorities in this entire case are you and Desiree Washington.
Exactly. So know what that means? This is what this means. That means 6 or 4 cops can beat the hell out of a guy and almost kill him, beat him to death, and the whole world can see that, right? And only one person could say, I committed a crime, and I can get convicted, and they can walk free. So that's what that means.
There were 3 witnesses who were not allowed to testify.
Now, it's not something that's never heard again in the history of court. So you tell me, when 3 witnesses have the power to save a man's life, or a woman's life, whoever life it may be, I mean, you tell me about this. Man, these people in this court system, and court system in general, they cover up crimes that are, that are disgrace to a nation of savages, man. Come on, I mean, this is insane.
Did the attorney that you have, and I don't want you to slam dunk or come down on your past attorneys, but do you think that they prepared you well?
Well, I don't, as you said right there, I don't want to comment on that.
Okay, all right.
Because it wouldn't dignify me if I made a comment, so I'm not willing to do that.
All right. Do you think that, forget commenting on the attorney itself, do you think your testimony at the grand jury could have been better?
I told the truth. Mm-hmm. I couldn't have been any better. I just told the truth.
While you were sitting there and you were looking up at that judge, did you ever get a feeling from her throughout the trial that it's over for me?
Oh, I knew that as soon as I stepped in that courtroom. I knew I didn't have anything to play.
Why?
I felt the vibes.
From her?
From the atmosphere being in that courtroom, I felt the vibes. And don't get me wrong, I'm no psychic by any means. I say, oh, this is it. I'm out there, and I was always prepared for it.
One of the news reports claims that at one point in the trial, you turned around and said, you know, I'm gonna win this. We'll win this because I always win. Is that true?
That's what I said.
And at what point in the trial did you feel that?
Huh?
At what point during the trial?
I made that statement because the person that had asked for an autograph, I gave him an autograph, and they said, I hope you win. And I said, oh, well, I always win. Not meaning a particular case, this particular case, but in life, I will win, regardless. After everything's over, and the coffin's closed on my life, and there's Mike Tyson born this shit and dash, and at the end of the dash, I would have won, regardless of whatever. When the end of my life, I would have won.
When we come back, we'll hear a lot more of our interview with Mike Tyson in prison. We'll be back right after this. Today in Danville, Indiana, bringing you a very special edition of the Montel Williams Show. And we're in a courthouse, and a courthouse just like this one, where over a year and a half ago, Mike Tyson was convicted of rape. Why don't we listen to a little bit more of what Mike had to say?
I would never allow something like this to break my spirit. You know what I mean? They don't break the average guy in here, the average man. And I feel he's nowhere near the kind of person I am. And if I won't allow that to happen to him, I won't allow it to happen to myself.
Is there anybody you trust completely other than Mike?
Oh, man, no.
Anybody you trust close to?
No.
Is vindication more important than freedom?
Exactly. I was just, the situation that occurred, you know what I mean, it's just, I don't want my children, you know what I mean, it's just very difficult. I just want my children to have to live through that, you know what I mean? That's why I never, like having a boy, I have a little girl named Michael Tyson, but I would never want to have a boy, and this is crazy, and this is just the way that people don't care. I would never want to name my son after me, because I would hate for him to have to ever live through that, being Mike Tyson, and being the story of what's been labeled on his father. I would never name a boy after me.
Every day is a major event in your life being in here, but your father passed in here. They wouldn't let you go see him. What went through you when that happened?
Can I tell you something? It's just something I was aware. I wasn't aware that he was dying, but when it happened, I already knew that I'm not going to see him, and it's just, this is it. This is my life. You know what I mean? There's things that, man, and a lot of people say, how can you do that? Being who you are, you just become accustomed to handling hardship. You're just accustomed to it. It hurts just like another person. I used to never cry outward. I cry perhaps inside, but I never cry like tears and all that. But I feel the same as somebody else that lost their family and they're going irate and they're crying, hitting their head against the wall, going, trying to rip the coffin up and go. I feel the same way. Just that I don't reflect my feelings that way.
Are you still Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson of the ring that we knew? Could you get back in and fight?
When I get out of here, you think I'm 28, 29. What can I do? Who can I fight? Me being 28, 29, who can I fight? And I've been fighting all my life. Since I was like 12, 11 years old, I've been fighting. Now I'm 20. People may say, well, he's still healthy. He's 28 years old, 20. I've been fighting all my life. I've been fighting probably longer than I've been doing anything else.
Right. So you think it's over then?
Yes, it's a possibility. And that's just being a reality, because there has to be more than life than just people saying, well, we need you back in the ring. You know what I mean? That's an insult to me. People insult me, but we got to wait till you get back. I got to bet money. They have no kind of emotional feelings for me as a person.
If you don't go back in the ring, what is anybody going to get from Mike?
I've got a new concept from being in this place. It's your life. I do what I want with it. You know what I mean? We're not going to live long, because me being here and people dying, and I think about myself and I say, God, these guys died. These young businessmen died, 50 years old, had everything in the world. He died. Arthur Ashe died. And I say to myself, nothing's ever guaranteed to any of us, man.
What if we needed Mike Tyson, once he's out of here, to go and work with kids to keep them from being here?
Well,
if we needed that, would he do it?
Well, Mike Tyson has to take care of it. I'm screwed up. You know, I know it seems like we're having this great thing, and he's not a bad conversation, but I'm devastated, to be honest with you. So I might have to get all my faculties together before I can do anything for anyone. Hopefully I don't leave it here.
What do you think about that comment from him?
I think that that's what he's been told. I think when you see in the interview, he doesn't accept responsibility for any of it. It's everybody against him. It's from the beginning, they said that when he walked in, they said that. But how can we say he's sorry when he doesn't think, he really thinks he did nothing wrong? So how can we say that he would say he was sorry to her when I think he thinks he's a victim, but that's what he's been told. People set him up to say, you can't do wrong. What about what Desiree feels? What about if she feels betrayed, or if she feels that she's been done wrong? Why are all of his words value and hers are value less?
Okay, but I think that the court did say her words were valued because they did convict him. Yes, ma'am. Stand up. Sure.
I think he deserves a second chance. Everybody deserves a second chance. Everybody makes mistakes in life, but you can never learn from your mistakes unless you make them.
Okay, but if you say he deserves a second chance, then most people would say what he's getting is what's right, because he's in prison, and his second chance will come when he gets out to prove himself. Is that what you mean?
No, he deserves a second. He deserves,
trial?
Yeah, he deserves a second trial. He deserves to get his appeal.
Okay, all right. Well, yes, sir. Why don't you stand up?
I think Mike was done a great wrong because he was a victim of society. The way they felt, he was a boxer, he had a lot of money, all the women knew that he had a lot of money, so they were after his money, they took advantage of him, and the court went along with it and did him unjust.
Okay, but what do you think about his comment? Do you agree? Later on in the show, we're going to get an opportunity to listen to some experts on both sides of the Tyson appeal issue and hear what they have to say, and we'll hear a little bit more from the conversation from Mike within the Indiana Youth Center. We'll be back right after this.
Truth. You know, I want to see the new evidence that came about, and I just want you to know, I mean, I'm not afraid. Maybe Miss Washington is afraid of a new trial, but I'm not afraid of it.